slow down. Now I get that two statement very often because I have two very special superpowers. Now every time I go out for lunch or dinner with my friends, before the food comes, my friend will say, Brendan, eat slowly. Because every time I will vacuum up my food and I'll start stealing their food. Right? Then on top they'll say, Brendan, can you just eat quietly? Shh. Now my two special unique ability is that I eat too fast and I talk too much. So when Chen Feng came to me and said, Brendan, can you share an idea on the magic of communication? I said, dude, are you sure? So you want someone who talk too much to talk about talking and do his talking in less than 18 minutes? That sounds tougher to ask me to eat slowly. So guys, do me a favor. If I talk too much in the next 15 minutes, shh me, okay? Now, I think, unlike the older generation, you and I, the younger generation, we tend to look up to speaking up as a sign of strength. We tend to think speaking up is a symbol of intelligence. How often do you see someone, when he or she says something loud and proud, subconsciously your mind goes that this person must know what he or she is talking, he or she might be really good. Now, speaking up is good until you overdo it. I'll give you an example. One of my colleagues, she's doing her part-time MBA with one of the world's most prestigious business schools. Now, oftentimes she would come to me and say, Brendan, I just want to finish my homework and go home. She has a classmate, and her classmate is called Albert. Now, Albert is a champion in the class. Albert is always the guy who will first raise his hand and say, Professor, I have something to say, and the last who put his hand down because they have ran out of things to say. So guys, how many of you have a friend like Albert in your class? Now, again, like I said, nothing wrong with Albert and Albert's passion of speaking up. The problem is, Albert tends to say the same thing 3 times, 5 different ways. So most of the time, Albert will end up confusing himself and confuse the hell out of the rest of everyone else. But my friend's class attribute 25% of the marks to speaking up. Guess how many marks do you think Albert scored for class involvement and speaking up? My guess is close to 25, right? Now why am I telling you the story of Albert? It's that I used to be an Albert. I was an Albert. My mantra in life was to speak first and think later. Right? How many of you have a friend who just make noise and don't make sense? I was one of them. I used making noise to mark my attendance. I used making noise to tell people, hey, Brendan is here. I used making noise to get your attention. But the problem is, noise is not voice, right? So, I noticed the more noise I make, the more my friends shh me. The more they just ignore me. The more they just filter me. Then I realized, the more noise I make, the more I only hear about myself. I only have my own noise in my head. And because when you only hear yourself, how do you communicate? I was a lousy communicator. So lesson number 1, noise is not voice. Now, about 10 to 12 years ago when I was about your age, when I was in my 20s, right? My back then already not so good noise-making communication broke down with an important person. I usually don't tell this part of my life story to many people, because I'm deeply ashamed about it. You know, I was 20, I was hot-blooded, very passionate about life. I always have an opinion on something. Problem is, everything that I think I'm right. And everything that this person think, he must be wrong. Right? So I never see eyes to eyes with this person. We always argue. Right? And speaking with this person is as if going into a war zone. Every time we start a conversation, I would have put up a defensive mode in my mind. I was waiting for him to finish his sentence so that I can reply to prove him wrong. We were talking, but we were definitely not communicating. I was frustrated, I was angry, and I was tired. Right? It's tiring to talk and not communicate. You don't listen to people, they don't listen to you, and you don't listen to them. Right? It's tiring. So one day I decided I'll stop. I'll just stop that talking and the communication. So for the next few years after that, our communication became very mechanical. He'll ask me, have you eaten? I'll say, yes. Do you have enough money or not? I can use a bit more. Come home early? I will try. Now, but the interesting thing is that this person here, he never stopped slipping money into my wallet when I come home at night. And he also never forget to fill up the petrol in my car every week when I go home, go back home. I study in UPM, I stay nearby. Guess who this person is? You can imagine how I'll look in the next 30 years. This person was my father. So for a long period of time when I was younger, I was talking to my father, but we were never communicating. Right? We hear, but we were never listening to each other. Then one day, a few years later, when I was less angry, less hot-headed, a little bit more grown up, I decided that I want to talk to my father again. But because we have stopped talking to each other for so many years, it had become so awkward. And I just did not know where to begin again. So I just let the silence to continue. I let it be. One day, I got a job offer. When I graduated, I got a job offer from my current company, Procter & Gamble. The company that produced Pantene, Rejoice, Head & Shoulders, Gillette, Olay, and SK2, by the way. Now, the interesting thing about the job offer is that they were supposed to send me to Thailand. I said, why not, right? So, I had my one-way flight ticket ready to start a new life in Thailand. So on our way to airport, my mom said, son, can I talk to you? I said, why not? By the way, my mom is the world's best listener. Who here thinks that your mom is the world's best listener? Yeah, usually not there, right? Then my mom said, come, I want to talk to you. I said, yeah, why not? So we walked to a corner of the airport, and she said, son, I might not be the best mom in the world, nor am I the smartest mom in the world, but I try. I try. Then she put her hand on my shoulder and said, so is your father. He's trying to reach out to you. He's trying to understand you. But his try is not happening because it doesn't seem like you are listening. So son, why don't for once try to listen to your father? And you might notice, you, father and son, might not be that different after all. Well, I didn't have time to reply. It caught me by surprise. I had a flight to catch. So I went on, I crossed the immigration, I went on the plane. Before the pilot said, turn off the phone, you know, the typical pilot always asks you to turn off the phone. And my phone buzzed. It was a text message from my dad. And he says, son, remember to come home often? And I love you. Now, I wondered how much courage that my dad mustered up at that point in time to send me the message. It was a very simple message, but you can imagine, it took me a few years to get the courage. I didn't even have the gun.
So the 2-hour journey from KL to Bangkok felt like forever. Because I took a long time to think about their relationship, their communication. Then I asked, why me as the son did not reach out to my dad to say I love you first? Why me as a son did not reach out to the dad to try to communicate to him first? Why didn't me as a son reach out to my dad and try to understand him first? And truth to be told, when I tried, father and son, mother and daughter, trust me, you guys are not so different after all. So that life experience taught me something important about communication. Truth is this, communication is not so much about how you speak, what you talk, the language you use, your body language, or your grammar. It's fine to have broken English. Communication in its purest form is something simpler, but a lot more difficult. Communication is first and foremost, do you listen? Are you listening? Right? Now don't get me wrong, I still talk too much today, and that means listening is a very tough thing to do. In my ranking of tough things to do, it's as tough as asking me to eat slowly. Right? Which is why God only gave me one mouth and 2 ears. Right? God gave us 2 ears, one, to listen to what people tell you. The other one, to listen to what they are actually really telling you, and they are not saying it. Right? Today I'm a coach, I'm a life coach. That's my passion. And I speak to many people on their questions, on their problems. Now a lot of people think that as a coach, my job is to go on stage and to give brilliant advice. No, it's a much misunderstood occupation. My job as a coach is really to just shut up and listen. I get emails or questions like this very often. And this came from a real person, and her name is called Anne. Right? She asked me, Brandon, I feel like I'm not being myself all the time because I have this tendency to want to please people around me. Brandon, should I continue this? Now let's pause there for a moment. If you were to Brandon, what did you hear? What did you listen? I was pretty sure the real stories that she wanted to tell me, if you listen carefully with both of your ears, is not in the spoken words. So I asked her, Anne, are you happy with the person that you have become while trying to please the people around you? Right? And she took a long pause. And she said, no. Then I asked her why. She said, maybe because I'm scared of being alone. Now, if you rephrase that, the real stories that I was trying to tell me was that, Brandon, I need affirmation from people around me. I need people around me to tell me that I'm good because I think I am not good enough. Right? And these are the real stories that you can only find out if you and I listen with both of your ears. Now, I didn't tell Anne much because Anne did not need advice. Anne did not need a reply. What Anne needed at that point in time was a hug. So I gave Anne a hug. Don't laugh. Silence is sometimes a better communication. Sometimes you just have to shut up and don't say it. Right? Now, there are many types of listener in the world. The following are a few of my favorite. Now, as I bring you through them, think which type are you. Some people listen like a debater. Right? You ask a question, you listen, but they listen to reply. They listen to give you back an answer. Some people listen like a jury. Simply put, there are people who just like to listen to judge you. You do this right, you do this wrong, you are good, you are bad. Right? Some people listen like a curious kid. You know what do kids do? They ask questions, they listen, they ask questions again, but their intent are pure. They listen because they want to understand. They listen because they want to connect. So my friend, which type of listener is your default listening mode? A debater? A judge? Or a kid? Now, yeah, that was me. Right? Now, when I was 8, my dad brought me to the zoo. Right? I was so happy in the zoo because I finally can see things coming alive from the storybook. The elephant, the tiger, the monkeys. I love the monkeys. Right? So I asked a lot of questions. My dad answered them patiently. Now that I think back, some of the questions I asked was quite stupid. My dad gave me some good answers too. I asked my dad, Dad, why is the lion yawning? You know, as a kid, lion yawn, right? So my dad said, yeah, probably the lion slept late like you last night. Okay, fine. We went to the monkey cage. I asked the same question. I asked a question, he answered. He asked me a question, I answered. Now that I think about it, that was probably one of the best communication I've ever had. True business. You and I, we grow up, we were born to be great communicators. The 8 years old Brandon knew how to communicate way better than the 18 years old Brandon and the 28 years old Brandon. Sometimes, as we grow up, we just forget how to communicate. We replace the communication with stories that we tell ourselves, with excuse, with silence. And why is what that I'm telling you today important to you, my friends? Because the world is a noisy place. Do you agree the world is a noisy place?
Yes.
The world is noisy because the world is full of too many judge and debater and not enough curious kids. Many conflicts that we have today, communication breakdown, could have been prevented if you and I were to just shut up and listen. Now one day, the world will belong to you, the younger people. I'm still young, but you're younger. Right? You will grow up to be someone else's boss, someone else's colleague, someone else's girlfriend, boyfriend, and eventually you'll be someone else's parents. Now when you do, I want to ask you a favor, to do the noisy world a favor, to listen. Because when you listen, good things happen. Thank you.